most common questions we receive is, how long will my case take? Well, like most things in a legal matter, the answer depends. Rather than leaving it at that, we've put together the 7 factors that will determine the length of your case. The first thing that you need to consider is the ability and willingness of you and the other side to agree. If you and the other side were asked, what color is the sky, and your answer is red and theirs is green, well, your case is going to take a while because you guys can't agree on the simple things, and quite frankly, you're both wrong. Now, if you guys can agree the sky is blue, grass is green, and we can move on to the harder issues, then your case is going to go a lot faster. It doesn't mean it's going to be resolved instantly, but it will go faster if you can agree on simple things. The next 2 factors are really you and the other side. In a case, there's going to be things required of you. You're going to have to gather documents. You might have to gather information, facts to help your attorney gather the information needed to present your case. The same is going to apply for the other side. If you drag your feet, or the other side drags their feet, things take a while. And this is probably one of the most frustrating parts of any case. You might think, well, I did everything I'm supposed to do. The judge is going to hold them, in contempt or lock them up. The reality is that's not likely to happen. The courts are filled with many cases, and oftentimes judges are willing to give both sides a couple, 3, even 4 opportunities to get things done. And this can cause a lot of frustration. The only thing you can do is control yourself. You cannot control the other side. The next factor, so our 4th factor, would be children. If you have children, this will delay your case more than if you don't. The reality is children are the most important decision that has to be made in a case, and we want to make sure we take our time. Sometimes the children's lives will impact the outcome of a case. Sometimes the children will need to be talked to. Each case is different in how involved the children are, but the children do factor into the length of the case. The next factor that you have to look at, our 5th factor, would be the attorneys. Not every case requires an attorney. However, if you do have an attorney, your attorney and the other side's attorney will impact the speed of the case. Each attorney is different. There's not right or wrong, there's different. Some attorneys like to communicate fairly quickly. Some attorneys are responsive fairly quickly. Some attorneys like to take their time to make sure they have all the facts, gather the information, and then they make a decision. Some attorneys have different things going on. And again, it's not right or wrong, it's different. You have to find the right attorney that fits your style, and hopefully the other side has an attorney that has a similar style. If they don't, that's something that will delay your case. The next factor would be schedules. At a minimum, when you are going to court, you have 3 schedules. There's your schedule, there's the other side's schedule, and then you have the court schedule. Our courts are packed. There's no doubt about it. So you can't just walk in right away, get a court date, and get your case done. In fact, in Will County, when you file your case, your first court date is 90 days out. In Cook County, it may be even further out. The reality is our courts are packed. So the judge's schedule is going to dictate when you can get into court. The court is also not going to force parties into things that are going to cost them their job. The court is going to try to be accommodating. So the court's going to try and look at both parties' work schedules. If possible, the court will work with the parties to try and make it where both people can be there on time and without losing any money. Now, if you add attorneys or other third parties, that makes it even harder. So now you may have 5 schedules to be balancing. The courts, yours, the other side's, your attorneys, and then the other side's attorney. So when you have all these schedules, things can take a little bit longer. So instead of being able to get something done in 2 weeks, the court's schedule or the other side's schedule blocks it, and you have to go out 4 weeks. So that can cause a lot of frustration. The final factor is other third parties. Depending upon your case, there might need to be other third parties involved, depending upon the issues. There may need to be subpoenas sent out to other people, maybe to banks, other financial institutions, employers. There may be other third-party witnesses that would be helpful to the case. In any event, we're going to have to get these people involved, and we're going to have some patience while these third parties gather stuff for your case. So these 7 factors are not the only factors that can determine the length of your case, but it's a great starting point. So when you're thinking about how long does your case take, you're going to have to consider these factors. Each case is unique, so it's not as though there's one path, there's one time period. So you're going to have to keep these factors in mind when you're determining the length of your case.